to see the smiles and the tears in the eyes of the late great Jim, Andy, and all those guys that sometimes try to be so tough, and we all try to be so tough, but to see everybody crying and having a great time after that. And then, obviously we didn't take it to the next level and win it, but to have that moment in time with all with my guys was awesome. Awesome.
What did Jimmy Johnson teach you the most? What's your takeaway?
Well, Jim, for me, as far as my career, was so impactful for me. And I've said this, and I'll continue to say it, that had not have been for Jim coming here, I don't know if my career would have gone to the heights that it has gone. Because he used me in such a way that they weren't using safeties the way that they're using them now. I mean, you talk about Troy, you talk about Ed Reed and those guys. They weren't using safeties that way back in the day until Jim started doing what he was doing with me. And so the reason why I made so many big plays in the fourth quarter is because Jim kept calling my name over and over again in the fourth quarter. But he knew that I was going to do whatever it takes to make his blitzes effective. I don't, sacrifice a body part, whatever I had to do. The blitzes were going to come home. But he knew that. He knew that about me, and he saw my God-given abilities. So from that vantage point, my career paralleled, his stardom as far as being the right person for this job here in Philadelphia, and I believe that. The other thing is that Jim's defense, as he called it, was a controlled chaos, and I love that about him. I love the fact that for whatever reason, he was able to call the right blitzes at the right time, and he wanted you to be all out, crazy-like, but you have to be able to control it. And that spoke to me because sometimes my emotions get control of me, and I would do dumb things sometimes. So for him to be able to reel me in, help me reel my emotions in, to be able to use them in a positive direction, was another thing that helped me take my career to another level.
You talk about the great times that you had, and we all remember that, and we loved it. What's your take on what's going on now?
It obviously is tough. I mean, that's an understatement. The thing that I see is you have so many small things that can be taken care of that would cause the ultimate picture to be a positive one. What I mean is that there's so many small things, detail-wise, that I see on the defensive side of the ball that if we fix those small things, then the outcome will be a different one. But the problem is it's a repeat thing every week. It's like the same thing over and over and over again. So for this team to go where it needs to go, in my opinion, this is my humble opinion, and once again, you have to be able to hold one another accountable in the meeting rooms in order to fix those small things. Because if you do not, you'll continue to do that small thing because nobody's calling it to the table. But once it is called to the table and everybody's seeing that, okay, we got a problem here, and that person feels bad about that problem, it's just like any other thing. If you feel bad about the problem, if you feel bad about something you're doing, and you love the people that you're around, you're gonna want to fix that, right? It's no different. It's no different than the locker room. So, for me, when we went through some of the things that we went through as a team, one of the things that what I would try to do is make sure the defense, we watch the film together. We will watch the film together, not separately, not linebacker. We watch it together. And coaches, hey, have at it. Let us know exactly what you're seeing. And so they would let every position know what they're seeing on the football field. And then as they call me out, Brian, you got to make sure you set that edge better. I feel bad about that because I got all these cats in here on my teammates looking at me make that mistake. That makes me even feel worse. So guess what I'm not going to do next time? I'm not going to make that same mistake again. So I don't know if the accountability is where it needs to be. And that's always the key in fixing things that are going wrong.
It's not just a coaching thing, it's everybody.
It's not a coaching thing.
Although the coach is going to be the fault.
And it's going to, listen, the coaches can only do so much. When the game is being played, when the whistle's being blown, and you're on the football field, there's nothing. I can look over to the sideline to Jim all I want, but he can't help me once I step between those white lines. Either I know what I'm doing or I don't. Either I'm going to give the effort or I'm not. Either I'm going to run to the ball or I'm not. It's on me at that point. So I don't need Andy. I didn't need Jim. I didn't need anybody to get me hyped or get me up for a game. That's ridiculous. I'm a professional athlete. I'm blessed to do what I do for a living. So I'm going to go hard. I just have to be directed and make sure I'm doing right and going hard. I can go hard and go fast, but if I'm doing I'm still going to give up big plays. So I have to know what I'm doing, and I have to go out and purposely make sure that the things that I did last week wrong, I'm not going to make those same mistakes again the next week.
Brian, thanks for coming up tonight, and you know, those of us who watched you play, and people like Jeremiah Trotter, you know, we knew with that team, once you guys put the Eagles green on, what it was all about. One of the things we hear a lot about today is that so many of the players are free agents that have come in, they weren't drafted by the Eagles, they didn't grow up in the organization, and they don't have that same pride about playing for the team. Is that a factor, or how important is that in that accountability that you were talking about?
It's a factor. I think what happens, and if you look at different places, even here, when we were here, there was I won't say a system in place, but there was a this is the way we do things here. So whoever came in, they knew that this is the way we do things. Period. And it's not like we're grabbing people, shaking them, and saying, "Hey, you're gonna do it my way or the highway." No, we don't do things like that. But this is how we practice. And if you don't practice the way we're practicing, you're gonna stand out in a negative way, and you don't want to do that. So guys just fall right in line. I don't know what the atmosphere is now. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what do new people see when they come into the organization, to practices, to the meeting rooms? I don't know what that atmosphere is. I do know when I was there, this is the standard we hold each other to. All right. So either you're in on it or you're gonna stand out. Like I said, if you're standing out the wrong way, you're not gonna be here long.
Makes sense.
If you weren't playing football right now, what would you be doing?
I'm not playing
No,
football.
but if you didn't, where do you think you would be going?
I'm sorry, son. I'm
If you
sorry.
didn't play football at all, what do you think where would you be going?
If I didn't play football, probably would be coaching in the ministry or something to that nature. That's probably something I would do. I'm so happy that this football thing caught me up for 16 years. I'm so happy.
Hey, Brian, who drafted you?
Who? Ray Rhodes. Yes, Ray Rhodes. But if you ask them, I don't know who drafted me, because Ray said he drafted me. Emmett said he drafted me, and Danny said he helped and drafted me. So I don't know who actually drafted me, but it was that draft.
Did you want to go to Denver?
Did I want to go? Come on, did you really?
Just had to hear it.
That's like one of those chapters in the book that you flip past real quick. You don't even want to.
Thank you.
Just flip on past that and just go on to the next part. It was tough though. It was tough. It was really tough.
Any other questions? What's your
Don't
favorite
be scared.
color?
Don't be scared.
All right, then what we'll do is I'll take Brian up, and incidentally, one thing I did forget. On September 30th, they retired Dawk's number. Number 20 will never be worn by anybody in Philadelphia again.
I see the guy
And
with it tonight.
yeah, but no, when you talk about milestones and you talk about accomplishments, you know, playing for an organization and going to Pro Bowls and being nominated for Hall of Fame, there's 32 teams, and there's guys on those teams that have done that also. The biggest thing is that when they retire your number, that don't happen. This man, he's special. And it's gonna be my pride to take him up there. I'd like to have the sponsors come up first, and we'll get a picture with Brian. And then at that point, Barlow Group will be first, and you bring your people up and introduce them to Brian, okay? Okay.